So maybe Google can have a dream about the fact that if we buy out our group, and if we can put their energy, their money, their knowledge, after just a few years, 2-3 years, instead of 3-4 million users, would be 100, 200, 300 million users. And after that, they can start to push some advertisement, but special advertisement for people who are concerned by the confidentiality.
Could be Google secure.
Exactly. Maybe could start to push some tools, special tools for people, for small companies who are concerned by the security. So it could be a good deal for them and an amazing deal for all the franchisees and the franchisors, for sure. And we can talk for 2 hours about different scenarios with IBM, with Microsoft, with Apple, with all of them.
Can I ask a question, or do you want to move on?
Well,
Well, the only thing that would make the company of value to Google would be your proprietary rights to what you have. Would that be a fair? Like, you have to have some sort of patented proprietary value in the way in which you secure, or not so? Or is
No.
it's really the million people?
Just
the
eyeballs.
users?
no, first of all, to have a patent number with software,
It's not.
I never saw that.
Yeah?
No, because
Okay.
you can take a software, you would change some code line, and it's a different software.
Yeah, so you can't
So-
really control that.
The only thing that you can have a huge bunch of users, special users, special branding.
Okay.
If you're the first one, would be great too.
Right.
So it's different. The value is not, it's not the same.
Okay.
And now, the third one, buyout like Prospector. Now we'll take just a few minutes to talk about Prospector, the tax case that Tyrone just talked just for a few seconds. In 2007, I was the CEO and the architect of the structure of Prospector franchise. Same structure as Edge. It was a transaction of close to 300 million with over 300 franchisees. And huge product, huge project. Everything was perfect, but in 2009, the CIA go against our franchisees. I tried to do the same thing as I did with the first 5 times that I have a big discussion with them, but no possibility to have a real meeting with them. So we hired a law firm, a specialist, Guy Dupont. For me, it's like God. It's just amazing. And yeah,
You got to pay for a lawyer. You want an amazing one.
yeah, really great. Just the fact that he said, just to tell you, we started the trial in January 2012, and just a few weeks before, he said, look, it will take around 2 weeks. It would cost, wow, it's $5 million. It took 4 months. It cost $5 million just for the trial. So we became close friends, my lawyer and myself. So now when I call him, look, it takes less than an hour. So I was the main witness, and I realized rapidly that the judge saw the truth. Because just to give you an example, the first day, the crowd said, we believe that it's a scam. But if it's a scam, it's because you have no real product, no client, so nothing exists. It's a scam. And 3 days after, when I started, I gave them contract with Revenu Québec, with Quebec Bar, New York Bar, Downtown, big company that we had as a partner who was a client. So the judge said, I'm not sure what we're doing right now.
Especially Revenu Québec.
Yeah. And it took a year for the judge to write the judgment, because it was a huge judgment, over 100 pages, so it's huge. We received the judgment on May 2013, so last year. 30 days after, no appeal, so surprise. So game was over, so we won, final judgment. And a few months after, because it was just for one franchisee, so we called the Crown and we asked them, do you want to go again 300 times? Good, they say no. And they just did the deduction, the same deduction as all our franchises. So now we have to understand that just before the trial, I was starting this project, but not like with a tax structure here. It was just edge of command with this product. I was in discussion with two private venture capital funds for 10 million. And after, you can remember, the second or the few days after I started to as a witness, I thought that for sure we would win. So I decided to stop the negotiation, and I changed the structure of Edge of Command to become what we have right now as franchise 2014. But we did another precedent with them. It's about the loan. Because what we did just 10 months ago, we said to the Crown and the CRA, we'll close all the concept in between the franchisor prospector and all the franchisees. So what we did, we present a transaction to the Crown and to the CRA. December 27, 2013, they signed the transaction, and you can have this contract because you have access to all the documentation. And what we did last January, the franchisor bought all the franchise, and the pricing was the cancellation of the loan, so the capital. So if you want to know what could happen, it could be a good way to follow. Now about the cash flow solution. The special thing with asset of the class 12. Class 12, we're talking about movie, prints and ads. I have difficulty to pronounce seismic data.
That's good.
That's perfect.
Keep practicing.
And software.
Nice. I'm accused, so we're kids. Just don't call me Australian.
What was that?
A little further south, from these parts.
So, the special thing here is the fact that you can carry back your deduction. So you can buy today a few franchise, and you can take your extra deduction for your revenue in 2011, 12, and 13. So it could be interesting. Because you know, as I said, most of the people would like to find the best way to improve their cash flow. It's not easy. You can say, look, you can, instead of working 40 hours, you can work 100. You can reduce your expense because you will work, so you don't have time to have expenses. After a few years, it will work. Or you can say, you can use the payment that you did in the last 3 years to the government. So it could be interesting. Plus the fact that you can take your deduction for the next 20 years. 20 years, quite long, but it's possible. So here I have just an example. I have an investor, taxable income $130,000 year after year. He can buy 5 franchises. So the payment 5 times 10,000